If you are struggling with being consistent in creating content as a creator, there are probably some reasons that you should look out for that the causes of such inconsistency that you are facing at the moment. First, it can be as a result of you not forming the habit of creating content every day. When you form a habit of doing something every day, it becomes automatic. You find out that every day you stand up, you create content, you wake up, you get ready, you create content, and it becomes part of you. And when you repeat this, it becomes an attitude or something you do all the time, and you are used to it. Not being consistent and creating whenever you feel like makes your mindset to not be positioned to feel that that act or that thing you are doing has to be automatic. Next thing that can be the cause of this is emotional burnout. It can be a result of mental stress, fatigue, and inconsistency. There are so many things that are involved in creating content. It's not just about making a post. You have to think about ideation, you have to analyze, you have to edit, and you have to check other parameters, know whether this content works best, what works best, and what does not work best. So all this can make you stressed out and can make you to have mental fatigue, and as a result, you'll not be able to create as much as often as you are supposed to. At the point you are weak. So another point that can actually cause you not to be able to be consistent in creating content is a result of perfectionism. You want to be perfect in everything. Competition, you're trying to follow other competitors to scale through. You want to increase the number of followers, you want to increase the number of views and all that. You have this perfectionism mentality. Your post must be perfect before you create a content. That also leads to inconsistency because the stress and the hassle you have to go through each time you want to create content will make you to feel pressure. Another thing that might be keeping you from creating content consistently is emotional mismatch. When you show up at first, you have the zeal, you have you are so excited, you want to create content. At a point, you got stressed out and you are no longer as you don't connect your identity to that content you are creating. You are not like I'm a creator who shows up. So when you don't do that, when you at a point you become emotionally derailed and you don't want to create content often. So that is another thing that can keeping you from creating content often, making you inconsistent. What you can do in order for you to make sure you manage your consistency level and make sure you stay consistent. First of all, you have to manage your content creation time, anchor your time. For instance, if you want to create on Mondays and Wednesdays, for instance, make sure you create Mondays and Wednesdays and make it a habit. If there's nothing like an excuse that makes you not to create at that particular day, make sure there is no substitutes. You have to make sure you create Mondays and Wednesdays. That's for an example. Then secondly, set a reading for your content. For instance, you do batch content creation. If you know you're going to create content for a week, you know you're going to post content for 1 week, make sure you create beforehand. Make sure you create content you're going to post for this week, next week, as much as you can. With batch content, create content from Monday to Wednesday and Friday. It's easier for you so that when you want to, even when things get busy, you'll be able to have content you're going to post. Next, you can start small and refine. Instead of you to say, I'm going to post 7 contents for this week, you can say, just know the one you can do. Let's say 4 to 6 per week. So you know the number of content that you can do. So even when things get busy, it will not make you to feel emotionally stressed out and drop out in your content creation. Next thing you need to know is that content creation is not a 24-hour job. So you have to set clear boundaries. 1 hour for ideation, 1 hour for community engagement. Then for the rest of the time, you need to rest. You get. So when you create time for everything, set boundaries so that when you have time, you do your content. There's time for content, time for rest, time for this, so that you'll be able to manage your time and know that once you create content, it's not something you do for the rest of the day. Next, you have to change your mindset about content creation. Content creation, you don't create content in order for you to beat the algorithm, in order for you to meet up with the algorithm. Just change your mindset to making content that's for you to help people. If you find out there's a problem your audience is facing, you can find out ways how can I solve their problem. That is kind of content you should look into creating instead of chasing the algorithm or chasing competition followers. So you should measure your wins. based on engagement and views and reposts rather than measuring number of followers and things that you know that it will stress you out or make you to be mentally distressed. So if you found this video useful, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for listening, and see you on the next one.